Hi, I'm Shannon, and welcome to Wild Breath. I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first experience with me, I want you to know something before we do anything else. You do not need to know how to breathe correctly. You do not need to be good at meditation. You don't need to quiet your mind, and you definitely don't need to show up already calm. You get to come exactly as you are. That's actually a really important part of the work that we do here. Because so many of the women I work with have spent years being the person everyone else can count on. You handle things, you take care of people, you figure it out, and you keep going. And you can become so good at noticing what everyone and everything around you needs that you don't always get the chance to notice what's happening inside of you. And that's what I want to give you as a first experience today. We're going to start with something that happens all of the time. Someone asks something of you, and before you've even had a chance to check in with yourself, you hear yourself say, "Sure, of course, I can do that." Then later you feel it. Why did I say yes to that? So this practice is for the little moment before the automatic yes. We're going to use a simple breathing pattern with a longer exhale to create a little more space. But I want you to know something from the beginning. The breath isn't really the point. The breath is one of the tools that I use in a process I call Internal Signal Recalibration, or ISR. It's a way of helping you become more able to recognize and to respond to what's happening inside of you instead of automatically overriding it. But you don't need to understand ISR right now. I'd much rather you experience it. So there's nothing you need to get right today. Just notice, just get curious and see what you experience. If something is being asked of you in your life right now, or you need to make a decision, maybe you want to bring that into this practice today. And if there isn't, that's completely fine too. For the next few minutes, you don't need to take care of anybody else. This time is yours. Let's begin. Get comfortable. Maybe sitting with your back supported, your feet on the ground. Or maybe you want to lie down. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And before changing anything, just notice how you're arriving. You don't need to calm yourself down. You don't need to clear your mind. There's nothing to perform here. Just notice your body, your feet, your hands, your jaw, your shoulders, your chest, your belly. Notice your breath exactly as it is. How do you know how you're feeling right now? What tells you? Don't go looking for an answer. Just notice what you notice. Now we're going to change the breath slightly. Gently breathing in through your nose for a count of 4 and breathe out through your mouth for a count of 6. Nothing forceful. You don't need a huge inhale. Let the exhale be easy, almost like a sigh. In through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1, and through the mouth, out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And again. In nice and slow through the nose. And longer and slower out through the mouth. Keep it going. Gentle breath in through the nose. Longer, slower breath out through the mouth. Allowing yourself to continue without my guidance. You're not trying to become good at breathing. You're just allowing the exhale to be a little longer than the inhale. Just a few more rounds. On your next inhale, taking a full breath into your nose, filling up the lungs, filling up the chest, and holding it at the top. Just holding for a few seconds. And when you're ready, through the mouth, long and easy, breathe out. Allowing your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. And not rushing into the next thing, just noticing what's happening inside you right now. Maybe something changed, maybe it didn't. And we're not looking for a particular result. We're looking for your experience. Notice your jaw, your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your thoughts, your energy, whatever is easiest for you to notice. Don't interpret it. Don't decide whether it's good or bad. Simply recognize, I noticed that, and that's enough. Now, bring the decision that you need to make, or the request that you need to give an answer to, into your mind. You don't need to solve it. You don't need to make a pro or con list. Don't think about how anyone else might react. Just bring the situation into your awareness. And notice what happens inside you. Before your mind starts explaining or justifying, what do you notice? Where do you notice it in your body? You don't have to understand it. You don't have to change it. Just get curious about how your system communicates with you. Now we're going to experiment. Nothing you say here commits you to anything. Silently say to yourself, yes. Imagine the answer has been given. Yes, I'll do it. And rather than jumping ahead into everything that happens next, just come back to yourself. What do you notice? Where do you notice it? Don't ask what you're supposed to feel. Just notice what's actually there. Taking a gentle breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your mouth. Let's do that one more time. In and a longer breath out as you let go of the yes. You haven't made a decision. You've simply noticed your response. Now let's experiment with the other answer. Silently say no. Imagine that the answer has been given. No, I'm not going to do that. And come back to yourself. Now what happens? Where do you notice it? No need to explain it. Don't judge it. Don't decide whether you're allowed to feel this. Just notice. You don't have to trust every signal your body gives off immediately. And you don't have to act on everything you feel. Right now, we're simply practicing recognition. Take a gentle breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through the mouth, letting go of the no as well. Now, just leaving both answers alone. No yes, no no, no decision. Just you. And ask yourself, what do I need right now? Ask it one more time. What do I need right now? You don't need to force an answer. You don't need to justify anything that comes up. You don't even have to act on it. For right now, just listen. Before we move on, notice what just happened. You felt something. You noticed it. You experimented with a response. And then you noticed what happened next. No one outside of you had to tell you what you were experiencing. That is the beginning of internal signal recalibration. The breath helped create some space. But the breath wasn't the destination. You experienced sensation. You began to recognize what was happening inside of you. Recognition gave you the opportunity for choice. And your own experience gave you something incredibly important: evidence. I noticed that. I felt that. I chose that. Something changed. This is what I call embodied evidence. And over time, those small pieces of evidence begin to build something that no teacher, book, or expert can simply hand you. Self-trust. Not because I tell you to trust yourself, but because you begin proving to yourself, I can notice what's happening inside me. I can recognize what I need. I can make a choice. I can respond. That's the work. The extended exhale you just practice is a tool. It's something you can use when you want to create a little more space. But remember, the breath isn't the destination. We're not trying to make you better at breath work. We're using breath as one way to help you become more available to what's happening inside of you. That is internal signal recalibration. And the real proof of this work isn't what's happening while you're sitting here with your eyes closed. It's what happens when life is happening. When someone asks something of you and you notice the internal no before the automatic yes comes out. Someone pushes one of your buttons and you notice what's happening inside you before you react. You're walking into a difficult conversation and you stay connected to yourself. You're awake at 3 a.m. with your mind racing. And instead of feeling completely at the mercy of it, you have access to yourself. And something you know how to use. That's where this matters, is in the life situations. Because when you create even a tiny bit of space between what happens and how you respond, choice becomes available to you. And every time you notice and you choose and respond and experience what happens next, you gather more evidence. And that evidence turns into self-trust. And trust begins to change how you move through your life. So the next time you feel the automatic yes coming, pause, breathe, notice, and ask yourself, what do I need right now? And if you don't know yet, you don't have to force an answer. You can simply say, let me get back to you. And give yourself the space to listen. Because the goal isn't to become perfectly calm, and the goal isn't to become better at breath work or meditation. The goal is to become more available to yourself when your life is actually happening. So if this was your first experience with wild breath, I hope you leave with one thing today. Not another rule about what you should do, but a little more curiosity about what you already know. I'm Shannon, and I'm so glad you're here. And this is where we start.